quite a number of work to put you at, even though the returns is very
The way it's stressful and the return is very encouraging. I like that.
very encouraging, but master 80 before it's a
A
lot
lot
of
of
work.
work.
A lot of work. Very hard work. You should develop that passion for them. You should love them. You take care of them just as you do for a family.
Yeah.
If not for
I
them.
think it cut across board. Family itself, it takes time and it involves a lot of work.
That's it.
You can't just be a lazy man and you want to get into
No,
family.
no.
No, it doesn't work. that way.
Especially animal rearing.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
No, 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 no. It doesn't work.
I'm here with Sammy. We're here to look at his farm, but before that, I guess to have an earlier conversation about how the journey has been so far with the duck family. So please, can you introduce yourself to my viewers?
Well, my name is Apology. That's my business is
That's
Ducks and More. I read electrical engineering at Accra Technical University. Graduated in 2015. Prior to that, I was working doing the electrical installations before I went to read my HND in electrical engineering. But I've always had passion for agric. So little by little, I try to do something. Trying to do something has pushed me to where I am currently.
Oh, okay. So the starting agric itself came about you wanting to do something, or how?
Yeah, because even before I went for my technical education, that's technical school or technical institution, I chose a Greek school before 5 years later, after my BEC. I couldn't go to school, but 5 years later, I went to technical school. But even before then, I would have done agric if I had gone to the second cycle.
So you have chosen agric.
Yes,
Okay.
but it couldn't happen. But I've always decided to do something in addition to what I'm doing. I always decide to use my leisure time to do something. Back from work, what do I have to do? If I don't have any work to do and go outside, I'm in the house. So I've always decided to do something that will be within me around me, especially during the COVID time.
Okay.
Then the desire came, it was growing, and then I realized that no, food is an essential commodity and nobody can bypass it. So looking at how everybody was going up and down, especially during the the lockdown
The
period,
lockdown,
I have to go to Ashaman on a single day more than 5 times to just convey food, make sure that I stock enough food for the family. But looking at the cost of food at the time, and then looking at how everybody was running just one single item, food. And I said, okay, later I decided to do this. But before then, in 2018, we were having some local chicks. You can see some few.
There are some around.
Yeah, some around. Local fowls, which most of them died because of the flu, the seasonal flu that died. But looking at the nature of these birds, ducks, looking at how resilient they are compared with in terms of their disease outbreak, we try to look at it and then maybe give it a try. But we didn't plan to go on this scale. We were having just about 3 birds.
Oh, wow. And now the numbers.
Even this one came out of 2 birds, 1 male, 1 female.
The numbers you have here.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because we brought about 2, okay, 3 first. No, it was 2, 1 male, 1 female. Then later when we say, okay, we want to do it more, we want to bring another 2 females and then 1 male.
Yeah.
But the 2 that I brought later couldn't work. Or the 3 that I brought later couldn't. The females and then the males, it didn't work. So it was only the 2 that we brought first.
I didn't know because they couldn't.
They were not, they were laying eggs, but they were not producing. And then when you bring 2 females, that's also the male ones from different places. They can't live together. They fight. They fight a lot. So we have to dispose of the one I brought later. And then the 2 females that I brought were not efficient. They were laying eggs but without producing. So we relied on only one. And this is what we have.
But I want to ask, so just for clarity, you said they were laying, but they were not producing. What do you mean by that?
You know, just like
You don't let the eggs hatch or
the eggs were not fertilized. They will sit on it and yet they will not hatch. So it occurred about 3 consecutive times. Then we said no, since that single one was producing, we are going to get seeds from that single one. And then we dispose of the remaining 3, the 2 female and then the male. So we got the seeds as of it. And then later when we finally decided to go into it last year, around January last year, having about 6.
So you actually began during the lockdown time or during
Yes.
last year?
During the lockdown.
That's when you bought the initial 2.
It was actually, we were having a number of them, but they were not much.
Okay.
And then we didn't go into it at this scale also because we didn't see, okay, we were also doing some market surveillance to see whether there is markets actually for this. So since we couldn't get any encouraging results, we decided to just relax. But during the lockdown period, we still look at the potentials in this. So during the end of that period, when the lockdown around later that year, that was December 2020, we were still having the desire to do something at all. We still didn't get any encouraging results from the market surveillance. We said, okay, we're going to give it a try. In any case, we're all rushing for food. But this is also meat and whatever. I was reading on it on YouTube as well, on net, all manner of materials to see how the potential. So we just want to give it a try, even though there was no encouraging results. We just chose to use the seeds that we were having at the time, around 6 female and then 2 male. So they were producing. So especially last year, from January last year, we used the 6 female that we were having seed. So they laid, almost all of them produced very well. We had about 60 plus. Then the second time they laid, we were having more than 150 birds. That's from the 2 times.
Wow. So like how many stacks do you have here?
For now, I'm having around a little over 180. But we have the capacity to keep more than 300. But the ducks are some birds that they don't like overcrowding. They want to fly around, feel free. If you open this place right now, they will be flying all over the place. We all manner of things. So we don't want to overcrowd them. So we have that spend here as well. So we have just around 180. But these are not the one we produced from last year. These ones were produced from September to November last year.
But you're talking about the market. So like now, is there market for that? Or is it that lucrative to do that?
Yes, it is.
How? What would you say about the encouragement in terms of the lucrative?
Well, the demand is there. The demand is there. For now, consistently, I've always had a demand to supply to customers, not less than, let me say, not less than 20 every week. For where I supply to, not less than 20 every week. Even that, I'm not able to meet the demand. But these ones are not at the age that I want to sell them, yes. So, for now, I realize that yes, the market is there. marketing.
Because most of the people watching us might be interested to also start that farming on their own.
Okay.
And they would also want to know whether, is that lucrative? They will also get into it. People, they'll be able to make their money out of like the sale of it. I know every farm is not that easy to go about.
Sure. Just as you said, it's not that easy. You can't just look at the market because I've lost a number of beds because of some maybe carelessness, overcrowding, and all manner of issues. But I'm also using that situation to learn.
Yeah.
So you can't just look at the market being encouraging and then just go into, because they behave like pigs. Every day you have to clean them. It's not like watching birds that you can leave the sawdust there for 3 months, 4 months without cleaning it. No, these ones are not like that. And then look at the floor. You cannot cement or you cannot concrete the floor. You have to leave them to fall.
We'll come to the second part and look at the technicalities. Same thing as we to know about that. So what you started, how much would you say you started?
This question always is a problem. Because, like I was telling you, I bought 2 beds from the village. That was 100 cedis, 1 male, 1 female.
So 50 cedis.
Yes, that was 100. That's the bed. You know, I always hear people say, oh, we started with 200 cedis. We started this fish farm with 100 cedis and those. And I asked, so is that really the case?
Yeah.
Because how much did you use to construct the cage? And then how much did you invest into the feeding and all the medications involved?
Yeah.
So I can't tell exactly how much I used, but the beds we bought 100 cedis. Feeding was not that expensive at the time, but this is what we used for the cage.
The mesh.
The mesh. And by then it was here, from here to the other end, but it wasn't intended for the ducks. So we just left them around like any other domestic beds. But as the number was told, we saw the need to raise, then expanded the cage, as you see now. So, but for anybody to say is going to do that business, then that will involve a substantial investment.
Can you give an estimate? Suppose someone wants to start, what amount to pay for income? What range of capital should you look at?
And that will also depend on how large a person should be. For instance, I'm unable to give you a specific figure, but let me use my uncle's example for instance. I introduced this to him. So last year, June, he started. So he bought, let me say, 10 beds. That's 3 male, and then 7 female. Yeah. And then he did the cage, and according to him, he said he spent around 6,000. But that is according to how he wanted it. He used brand new roof sheets, and then almost everything was brand new. You can see I'm not using brand new. I use almost everything scrap. All these metal pipes, they are all scrap. So that's how he wanted it. But I will not do that. I just start with something simple and
then you at least invest more into it.
Yes.
So so basically for it was 6,000.
He says it's expensive.
6,000.
And I think that's true, because when I saw what he did, he cemented
a lot of constituencies.
He should have started little by little, even though it is producing.
Yeah.
In fact, he started in June, and then he sold his first beds in, that was in December.
Okay.
So just imagine, from June to December, what I gave him were at the point of laying. So in less than 3 weeks, he started laying. So he was able to get quite a number of them and sold it. So I don't want to go into the cost so much, because somebody may see it, and then if it doesn't work the way he was expecting it, he may be discouraged. And like I was saying, it involves quite a number of work to see at it. Even though the returns is very high.
The way it's stressful and the returns is very encouraging. I like that.
Very encouraging, but Master, it involves a lot of work. A lot of work. Very hard work. You should develop that passion for them. You should love them. They take care of them just as we do for a family.
Yeah.
If not for
I
them.
think it cut across board. Family itself, it takes time and it involves a lot of work.
That's it.
You can't just be a lazy man and you want to get it.
No.
No, it doesn't work.
Especially animal rearing.
Yeah, that's very bad.
No, 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 no. So for the cost involved, you can start small. Somebody can take thousands to go to school. Yes. Especially when they are not much. You not see, there are two things involved. Maybe after the cost of raising the structure, then what you should look at is the cost of feed. So you can stop your feed, looking at your protection, how the feed is going. You can stop for 3 months or more. Then before that, stock finishes at the end of 3 months, then you may have to get another stock.
So they feed it for 3 months, how much does it cost? Like the stock?
That would depend on the number of beds.
So like average, let's say you have 100 beds. Okay, on your farm, what's the stock?
There are certain areas I don't.
Okay.
But for what I have now, I don't spend more than 5 cents.
Well, then that's cool.
I don't spend more than 5 cents. I said I don't want to go to certain areas. That's it.
Okay.
I don't spend more than 5 cents.
Then at least you are, in some sense, you are cutting down costs.
Of course.
Okay.
I try and do whatever it is because the cost of feeding, look at, I changed this water just yesterday. And look at it, it's gone again. It's gone, it's dirty. And we are buying Ghana water to take care of them. Without water, they will not be in good health.
Sure.
And then looking at their carriage, just look at all these ones, all these costs. So I have to do whatever it takes me to carry costs. Yeah.
So what's the one motivating thing that keeps you going about the art business?
The dark business. Well, I will not say one motivating, just one. I've always desired to do something, as I said, using my leisure time to do something, and looking at the returns also. Now, if you are not careful, you may run at a loss because if you don't learn how to take care of them, they will die. People say tags are dirty birds, but they are not dirty.
Yeah, but like your birds are need to.
Yes. It depends on how you take care of them. So the passion for them, the love for them, and like I said, the returns is very encouraging. That is, if you do it well, the returns is very encouraging. I've looked at an alternative source of income because in Ghana, cost of employment issues are very difficult.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
But this one is for me. Nobody will, lay me off.
Yeah.
So throughout last year, I've used the period to learn about how to do it. Now, I think I've invested quite enough for me to be able to do it here. But I've also created business for myself. And when I move to a bigger location one day, I can expand it and do it at a larger scale. So a number of things, especially employment issues. So one day, even though I'm into electrical engineering, I believe I'll do this more than the electrical engineering. Yes.
There are more prospects on
Of course.
So you made mention of say tax and more. So the more, what do you see adding to the business?
I look at local chefs. I send a best to this Chinese restaurant. You don't have local chicks, you only have that no local chicks. I say, are they fooling us? You send all manner of carcass chicks to us and then we eat and whatever. But actually they don't eat those that they bring to us. They don't feed on that. I have a number of them. You can see the top there.
Yeah, the
local chicks. So I look at going to local chicks, goats, sheep, local turkey, just those that I can easily do around myself, not the poultry style of raising animals. The poultry. Whatever I feed them is, they are all local material. I don't buy poultry. I only buy starter, broiler starter, to keep them healthy at the initial stage when they are around a month, like a day to month. So I look at adding those things, the local chicks, the key, the goats, sheep, so those ones that I can quickly handle.
So if there are people also watching us, they are home unemployment issue, they don't know what to do. as I said, we wanted to do something in addition to it. Yeah. So there's that time. If there is something you want to do, I would encourage you to do what you want to do.
Well, I will encourage them to make use of the space they have around. Any space that's in the used. All these places was cheap. And I was reading, buying really size, grading. Then later you can see cassava. We grow cassava and then I was okay, we get tired of it. And I said no, I don't like wastage. I don't like wastage. So we are going to make use of this. So any little space they have around, they should make use of it. If they can plant a seed, they should plant it to grow and then give them a fruit. If they have to keep some birds around, they should start something. And then any little time they have, they should use it to do something. Apart from where, if I don't have any electrical work to do, this is where I spend my time. My family helps me. So any little space they have, they should use it for something. And they should avoid wasting money. There are some people who enjoy life. The least money they have, they will use it to enjoy themselves instead of planting it.
Any little money, I guess, can enjoy it.
Yes, I don't do that. Last year, God, it was very, very difficult. Because after giving money to my family, I have to use the rest to feed them. It's not easy, but little by little, you have invested some money into the feeding. Because after raising the structure, the cost of feeding is what takes a lot of money. So they should avoid wasting money. They should use the space around them. They should use the little money they have that they don't know what they use it for. But maybe you use it to stock maybe some drinks into their fridge. They should use it to buy feed for them. They will surely get something out of it.
Returns out of it.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I think we'll end the first part of the video here. The second one will look at the farm, we look around, you take us through some of the things we do, some of the things we're supposed to know about. We want to start our own dark farm.
Okay.
Yeah. So that brings the end to this video. Kindly hit the button to subscribe, put your notification on to get regular updates when I drop a new video, and please drop a thumbs up on the video. See you in the next one.